Today I'm eating Bulgarian street food, which is one of the best and cheapest I've ever seen. It's breakfast time here in Sofia, Bulgaria, my 53rd country. And right now I'm in this super cute shop that sells Banitsa, which is the typical Bulgarian breakfast. What's really cool here is that they make it fresh every morning, so whatever you pick, you know it's gonna be good. There's also a fridge where you can choose between a bunch of drinks, and I went with a yogurt drink and a fun local one called Boza. And every Bulgarian person I meet tells me to try this one, so I'm pretty excited to try it. This is pretty good. So it's made with rye bread and sugar. Basically it tastes like a bread drink. The consistency is pretty cool too because it's really thick. So it feels like a very nourishing drink for when you're really hungry. And I really like it. So I'm gonna start with a rating of 8 out of 10. So here I have a savory banitsa, which is a flaky dough pastry filled with cheese. That is really delicious. And I really love that it's a flaky dough pastry because you have a bunch of different consistencies. Like on the outside, it's super crispy. In the inside, it's super soft and the dough is melting away. And also, it's warm. Really perfect breakfast over here. This is gonna be a 9 out of 10. And to top that up, I have a yogurt drink, which is super typical here in Bulgaria. And there's yogurt drinks at every shop. So I thought I knew what it was gonna taste like, but it's even better. It tastes between milk and a yogurt. It's also lightly salty. Doesn't taste like anything I've tried before. I'm gonna give this one an 8.5. And for this one, and I have no idea what I ordered because I don't speak Bulgarian, let's discover that together. This is definitely apple. So in the flaky dough bread, you have a bunch of freshly cut apples and it really tastes delicious. For this one, I really like it, but I'm more of a fan of savory breakfast. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. And this delicious breakfast was only 7 lev, which is around $3.50. For lunch, I'm doing what the locals do and going to one of these really cute takeout canteens that you see everywhere in the city. This one serves delicious homemade food and everything looked so good, so I got a lot of stuff. I went with 4 different dishes that look really cool, but I have no idea what they are. So we're gonna discover that together. This first one is very cheesy. It's the traditional Bulgarian cheese that has been baked in the oven with even more cheese on top. So there's so many different cheeses in it and so many different layers. And I believe it has been baked with an egg to give it this thick consistency. So delicious, best start of a meal ever. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. I love cheese. We also have this beautiful potato dumpling that's super golden and really thick. And you can really tell that it has been deep fried because it's oozing with fat. Always a good sign. If you open it, it looks a bit like mashed potatoes in the inside. This is so perfect. So there's of course the delicious taste of potatoes, always a good idea, but there's also some cheese and some herbs and maybe some black pepper. This is so delicious and it tastes so homemade. This is also a 10 out of 10 for me. This place is just perfect. It's just a neighborhood spot. You know, if you follow the locals and go where there's a big line, it's guaranteed to be good. Here I have a delicious looking fried meatball. It has a beautiful golden brown color, and when you open it you can see that the ground meat looks super tender and there's a lot of herbs in it. I can't believe this place, it's just so perfect. To be honest, when I saw it, I was expecting it to be a tiny bit dry because, you know, it's a fried meatball, but this is so tender and so soft in the inside and also super tasty. I have to refrain myself from giving this one a 10 out of 10, so I'm gonna give it a 9.5. And after all these heavy dishes, I'm in the need of something fresh with this Shopska salad. This is one of the national dishes of Bulgaria and they're everywhere in the street, so you can take it to go. Here this salad looks so beautiful with fresh cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, and all of this is topped with parsley and Bulgarian cheese. Wow, this salad tastes so fresh. This was such a perfect meal and I was not expecting it. Also, all of this came at 11 lev, which is around $5.50. This is that good, I'm re-anticipating what we're gonna eat tonight because it's one of the most famous street foods of all of Bulgaria. So I'm on this trip with my dad, who's an absolute street food king since he likes to ask locals for their best spots. And this afternoon he wanted to show me a market where there's so many great food stands. But before we go and meet him there, I wanted to tell you about today's sponsor, Speakly. Speakly is an app to learn languages in a natural way. This means you'll only learn stuff you'll actually use in real-life conversations and be able to speak the language fast. This is perfect if you want to brush up on a language and feel fully confident talking to people during a trip. Like my dad, who's currently exploring the market in search of the best street food vendors. I personally love learning languages for fun, and Speakly makes me feel like everything I learn is useful. Like there's this feature where you can act out relatable real-life situations, like this one where you're taking too long to order at a restaurant and everyone is waiting for you. That literally happens happens to me all the time. And everything is optimized to get you comfortable in the language fast. I feel this way learning doesn't feel like work and I don't get bored. You can try it for free for 7 days, plus you'll get a 60% discount with the annual subscription. So click the link below and start learning a new language today. After this, it was time to go to the market. And on my way there, I found the coolest and cheapest street food stand that sells Gevrek, which is basically a Bulgarian bagel. I paid only 1 lev, which is around 50 cents, to get this beautiful and golden treat that was still warm. This is a very simple food. It's just bread dough that's really thick and made into a round shape. It is quite different than a bagel because the dough is way more dense. This is delicious, it's super fresh and tastes really homemade. This is a 9 out of 10 for me. This was super good, but it was also super thick and dense. So now I'm really in need of some water. And my spot is conveniently located next to one of the most famous mineral springs of all of Sofia. All around Sofia there's so many springs like that, but this one has to be the most famous. There's so many people here coming with massive water bottles to fill them up because it's supposed to have so many different health benefits. But on my side, I'm just using it to wash my bagel down. This water is actually a bit hot and really tasty because of the minerals in it. I then met my dad at the market and we found this tiny grilled fish vendor and we bought a bunch of random fish that looks really good. So here the whole fish has been grilled and has a delicious looking golden color. Oh, this is good. This is a great, easy and fast snack. Obviously not my favorite snack I've eaten today, so I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. So happy we came to this market and I'm excited to see what they have in stock. You have so many different types of fresh produce. You have a bunch of different fruits and vegetables, some local vendors coming from all over town to sell their produce, and everything looks so fresh and so delicious. And the prices seem pretty good too. For example, we bought these very fresh looking grapes for only 50 cents. Really good and really sweet. And right before arriving for a spot for dinner, we found this massive nut stand where everyone was buying massive quantities of nuts. So we couldn't resist and grab a few ones for the road. Seriously, there's no better snack than dried fruits. But the thing that I find the coolest about this market is that there are so many random tiny street vendors. Like this one, for example, that sells this massive pumpkin slice with a bunch of nuts on top. Like seriously, I have never seen this type of street food. It just looks so good and like the perfect food for fall. Let's try it out. Wow, this is so delicious and I was not expecting it. So obviously pumpkins are really sweet, but here I think some sugar has been added on top, so this is a delicious sweet snack. For this snack I'm gonna give a 7.5 out of 10. And we're now arriving to one of the most delicious street food stands that serves fresh grilled meat at an incredible price that you can then eat standing up on one of these tables. The first thing we have before we try their specialty is this random sausage served in a spicy tomato sauce with fresh chilies. I don't know what it is, it just looked good. We pointed at it and ordered it. Let's try it out. Pretty good too. I have no idea what it is, but I like it. And what's really cool too is that we have fries, but they're homemade from actual potatoes. They don't look frozen at all and they just look perfect. And they taste so good dipped in the sauce. But the food we're here for is Kebapche, which is grilled ground meat that has a long shape and is seasoned with black pepper, cumin and salt, and is served with a side of beans in tomato sauce. Oh wow, the beans are delicious and not at all what I expected. Seeing beans in a red sauce, I was expecting something more like British baked beans, but they're actually cold and really delicious. Wow, this is so good and it really tastes freshly made. And I don't really know how I'm supposed to eat the spicy sauce, so I'm just dipping my kebapche in the sauce. It's even better. It's so delicious. So for me, this is my favorite food and a pure 10 out of 10. All of this costed 7 lev for 2 people, which is $1.70 per meal. At this price, no wonder people come here to eat every single day. This food was really delicious and this small grill shop was a perfect find. Now we're gonna end our food, so I'm gonna leave you here and bye for now.